Good morning, guys. I have a big cup of coffee this morning. So, today is day 2 of going live, and this is a topic that I have, I don't know where to put this, imposter syndrome. I believe all of us go through this at one time or another, but imposter syndrome is when you start something. It could be your corporate job, it could be your business, it could be anything, right? You go into it and you're like, who am I? Who am I to do this? So getting my job in the corporate job, hello, in the corporate world, it was like, who am I? Also, I went through and I got my biggest wake-up call was, hello there, was when I went through to be a personal trainer. I had got my certificate, I started coaching clients, and I didn't look like the other personal trainers, and I stopped. Because, I would say, like, who am I to teach these people if I don't look a certain way, right? A lot of people don't start businesses because they see people who have very successful businesses or who have started out because they said yes. A lot of people, they're like, ooh, I can't do what she does. And I get that a lot, like in my network marketing business, in so many different parts of my life. People are like, well, I can't do what you're doing. And it's like, I just said yes, and I just jumped in, and I just, but I had to work through a lot of imposter syndrome. Guys, it's so common, especially in women. And the way that I got through it was I journaled a lot. I was like, no, I have a gift. We all have beautiful gifts. We are all here for a reason. And share your gifts, right? There's a lot of and social media is hard to see people on it, right? So, hey, Katie. It's that imposter syndrome. So that is something that I really wanted to hop on and just say it's very common, especially for women, to be questioning ourselves and just be like, lost my train of thought. See, this is hard. But yeah, that's what a lot of us, we don't go for what we want. We don't go for, so for me, when I first started, like when I was like throwing the idea of like, well, I want to coach people in business, and I want to do all these things. And then it played in my head. I'm like, but who am I? But then I started journaling it out, and I'm like, well, my dad had a business growing up, or I would see people and I'd be like, well, what about this? Or like, I've been working since I was 15 years old at Domino's Pizza, and I would go in and I was like this shy little girl, but I would see all these things that I'm like, well, that would make it better, or that would make it better. And it took actually a boss of mine at London Life to so I'll tell you a little bit. So when I was in when I worked for London Life, I was in death claims, and that was very like, sit at your desk, do your job, right? And when I went into the HR role, it was like I had to use my voice more. I was being asked for my opinion, and that has never happened before. I've always just, head down, do my job. If I said anything, it was kind of like, oh yeah, like go on. But I had this leader that was like, okay, Kendra, what's your opinion? And I'm like, and we would do round table, and I was so scared. And I sat there and I'm like, who am I? But like, who am I not to say my opinion? If I could help the business, if I could help with processes, if I could help all this stuff. So this is something that I am super passionate about. Hey, Damien. Is showing people that the imposter syndrome, you work through it and you journal through it and you show up as who you are meant to be, because you're here for a reason. And all of us go through it. Know that it's normal. Hey, know that it's normal. Know, like, even when people, when I first meet people and they're just starting out in their businesses, they're like, I can see my business being super successful, but who am I teach this, or who am I to use these products, or who am I to open a storefront? And it's like, why not? If you're being called to something, there's a reason. So I'm going to share more of my tips. I'm going to include like a journal prompt for you guys, but that was my little hop on in live, so it's not as bad. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and just get out there and do it. You're being called to do it for a reason. Oh God, that was